ये तो सभी लिखेंगे. Everyone will write these points. There is no rocket science in this. But if you want to go from the beginner to the topper, the fourth aspect in the temporal is this is what the one single point will add 0.25 marks into your answer. Okay, you add 0.25 marks across 79 questions. Yes, that will be the difference of 20 marks. 0.25 marks for the dimensions, 0.25 for the extra brownie point that you will be writing or the keyword, and 0.5 mark for the innovation in the structure that you will be bringing. The best way to start in the applied ethics questions is either you start with the definition or you start with the. Now I am coming to the very important part. The 1.25 mark aspect is missing in this, and that is the first question. If you see, this is on the theme of the ethics in or ethics in technology. ठीक है? So application of the AI as a dependable source of input for administrative rational decision making is a debatable issue. Critically examine this treatment from ethical point of view. So what is the demand of the question? Yes, it is critically examine. So which formula we apply for critically examine? 50-50. That means the benefits of the AI 50%, issues with the AI 50%. And as we are highlighting the issue, we also have to give way forward. But as way forward is not the demand, how many points we will write in way forward? 2 to 3. Okay. Now coming to the introduction. What kind of introduction will you give? Yes. Is it the question is on the AI? Okay. It is about the ethics. Right? Ethics in the application of the AI, that is the core theme. So remember, what are the themes of the applied ethics are? Bioethics, medical ethics, okay, the war ethics, technology ethics. You first prepare the definitions of all the applied ethics sections. Okay, you will be using that. Second, you add one quote on each of the theme. Okay. A best way to start in the applied ethics questions is either you start with the definition or you start with the quote. Okay, you add the quote and you just rephrase the question. Okay, so what will be the quote that we will be adding? Yes. Technology is the double-edged sword. It's, and how will you make it a keyword? By writing it in capital. You add one quote or you have the quote of the Sundar Pichai as well. AI is the future of the citizen service. However, it must be deployed responsibly and with sufficient safeguards. Okay? And then you simply rephrase the question. The use of AI in for administration rational decision making means public administration has raised several ethical issues. Okay? Recently, Elon Musk has sent a letter by urging them to stop their developments with respect to the AI. Okay? Then, what will be the first part? Application of AI in decision making. What is our framework? With respect to decision making. With respect policy related questions, which framework we apply? Temporal. policy formulation, implementation, what is the third? Monitoring. So what will be the points in policy formulation? Data driven decision making. Okay, the example, and see, in ethics our 10-6 formula or the 15-8 formula, okay, it doesn't apply. Okay, it is 10-8 and 15-12. Okay, that means for the maximum of the questions you have to give the examples. Okay, and it is not necessary to give the specific examples. You can give the generic examples also. Just for example, so data driven decision making example, AI can analyze health data to predict disease outbreak. Predict disease outbreak. Second, after data driven decision making, it can also help in policy impact stimulation. First, you try to understand the potential impact of the policies. That is what you do in any decision making, the cost benefit analysis, okay, which is called as policy impact stimulation. Example, yes, the big data analytics of the tax policy decisions. Yeah, सबसे ज़्यादा cost benefit analysis you do in the economic affairs also, because the most loud thing is the money. Okay, so example, big data analytics of tax decisions. Then third, yes, what else you require for the policy? Yes, predictive policy also, yes. What else you require for the policy? Public support? No. So for that, sentiment analysis. Example, AI analyzing the social media content before policy making or decision making. So with respect to implementation, yes, what are the three aspects? In decision making, with respect to the implementation part, the most important aspect is resource allocation. See, this is not limited to the AI, this is for all the temporal aspect related themes. ये सभी जगह पे आपके सेम ही सब हेडिंग्स आएंगे. Only the example and elaboration will change. What can be the example? Yes, with respect to resource allocation. In urban planning, you can say. Okay. So use of AI in urban planning. For optimizing transport system. Equity assessment also, yes. A real-time monitoring, see, we are following the temporal aspect. Mukund, the compliance monitoring, time monitoring will come into the monitoring aspect. Currently, we are in the implementation phase. So, in implementation phase, first is with respect to the resource allocation. Second, the speed and efficiency. Speed and efficiency. Okay. And the third aspect is with respect to process automation. Example, AI based passport verification. Yes, bias mitigation also you can mention. Yes. Okay. Then with respect to the monitoring, you can give the points as in real time monitoring. This provides the effective feedback. Then the second key aspect with respect to the monitoring is the grievance readdressal. What is the example? Yes, the different chatbots. The example, Ask Disha chatbot of Indian Railways. Okay. The third aspect, transparency and accountability. Okay. Example, the big data analytics. Yes, in judicial system also you can mention. Identifying the feedback mechanism we have already covered na? In real time monitoring. Performance metrics also, yes. Impact assessment also, yes. You can mention. So big data analytics to detect tax evasion. Okay? Is it clear? Yes. Diksha also you can mention, yes. You can also write about the impact assessment also. But already we have covered 9 points. Yes. Anything else that we can write? Yes. ये तो सभी लिखेंगे. Everyone will write these points. There is no rocket science in this. But if you want to go from the beginner to the topper, the fourth aspect in the temporal is the crisis management. Okay, the policy cycle is never policy formulation, implementation, and then monitoring. Sometimes you have to take the emergency decisions also. So the fourth aspect you always bring is of the crisis management. Example, AI helping disaster management teams in resource allocation. Based upon the intensity of the disaster. Okay? So this is what the one single point will add 0.25 marks into your answer. Okay, you add 0.25 marks across 79 questions. Yes, that will be the difference of 20 marks. You add 0.25 marks for the extra dimensions that you are generating. So normal aspirants are writing, even the guys who are giving the interview write up to 10 points. Okay, you check any of the copy of the rank holder beyond 10. Okay, rank 11 to rank 15 you take, and rank 1 to rank 5 you take. You compare any answers and you tell me how many points 1 to 5 rank holders are writing and how many points 11 to 15 are writing. Okay, let alone the guys who are writing the mains or who are appearing the interview or who are having the rank beyond 20. Okay, you just compare it, you will find it. So 0.25 marks for the dimensions, 0.25 for the extra brownie point that you will be writing or the keyword, and 0.5 mark for the innovation in the structure that you will be bringing. Okay, if there is neatness, if there is visibility of your key points, as a writing in capital words, giving the colons, that will give you that 0.5 extra. And ultimately, it will lead to 1 mark extra per question. Across 79 questions, that is increase of 79 marks. That's it. That's the only difference between rank 1 and the guy who couldn't clear the interview or who couldn't get into the list. 80 marks का difference होता है ना? That's how they make the difference. ठीक है? Yes. Next demand of the question is debatable issues. So with respect to the ethical issues, now what else can we do? We have got 0.25 for this point. Yes. Now we have to get extra 0.25. What else we do? Which diagram? Have you read about AI? Does anyone know the successful case study of the use of the AI in public administration? Anyone? This is very significant aspect, guys. Always while reading, develop the successful case studies. Okay, yesterday also we had the question key, provide the specific examples with details on the role of environmental NGO. In with respect to, अगर आप पिछले साल का भी क्वेश्चन देखो, with respect to environment also, the judicial interpretation of the environmental rights, the question was on that, and they asked you specific case laws. So preparing the examples is the also very important aspect, not just for substantiating your point, but UPSC is asking the questions on the examples itself. Okay, so remember this, Singapore's Smart Nation Initiative. It uses the AI for urban governance, transport, Smart Nation Initiative. So urban governance, public service and transport. Yes, this is also a good example. Use of the blockchain technology for land pooling in Amravati. That is also the example you can use. Okay? Then ethical issues. Does anyone know Niti Aayog had one report with respect to the use of the AI? With respect to AI? No. Niti Aayog documents, wherever you get, you please read Niti Aayog documents. Okay, for the dimension generation and the keywords, the best document is Niti Aayog India at 75. You just go through it. Their documents are structured in the same way which we require in UPSC. First, they have given the data, then they have given its importance or significance, then they have highlighted the issues, and then they have provided the way forward. Okay, it's the in same order, and they have given classified and proper classification, sub-classification also. ठीक है, though the one who has prepared that document must be the former UPSC aspirant. ये सिमिलर स्ट्रक्चर में बनाया है उन्होंने, ठीक है. जस्ट रीड द समरी ऑफ इट, स्पेशली ऑफ द एग्रीकल्चर, ठीक है. सो इथिकल इशू एज पर नीति आयोग, strategy for AI. Yes. So what are the ethical issues? Privacy, okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Here you simply think from the perspective of the stakeholders. So from government perspective, from citizens perspective, from business perspective, and from technology perspective. Okay. The first is, and see, this is again they are asking about use of AI in public administration. So public administration का हमारा क्या framework है? Nolan principles and maxims. No. So the first is principle of fairness or equity. Due to algorithmic bias.
Gender bias in
AI, yes, it is there. The hiring policy of the Amazon favored men over women, which was based on the AI. So this is algorithmic bias. Example, Amazon recruitment AI. It favored men over women. What are the other Nolan principles? Yes. Objectivity, this will cover into this. Selflessness, nahi. What else? Openness matlab transparency. Transparency and openness. So whenever you mention the transparency, just use this keyword, black box problem. Black box मतलब आपका पूरा data वहाँ पे stored होता है and you don't have the access to it. So that is the secrecy. Black box syndrome. ठीक है? What else? What is the next? Yes, black box problem, Mukund, very good. Accountability. Yes. So difficult to place accountability either on technology or on government or on administration. Right? Difficulty. Either to place accountability on the government or on the technology or on the administration. What else? Responsible AI will come into the way forward. What is the next? The Nolan principle. Honesty. No. What else? इंटीग्रिटी भी वही आएगा, ये ट्रांसपेरेंसी. ठीक है. So ये apart from that, the aspects, when you can't generate the point from the framework, immediately think from the perspective of the stakeholders. जैसे government. So from the perspective of the government, surveillance and infringement of privacy. Okay? But don't write this as your subheading. Write the subheading as the police state. ठीक है. AI driven surveillance and what is the next?
George Orwell's Big Brother. George Orwell's Big Brother.
Yes, that you can mention. Big Brother syndrome is from his novel 1984.
Yes, yes.
Privacy infringement. So if you want the keyword, you can write that. The Big Brother syndrome of George Orwell. If you want, when after clearing your UPSC, the first book that you are going to read is this. It's the masterpiece in English literature. Okay. Then next, with respect to the technology from ethical perspective, always try to bring the objectivity we have covered now in bias aspect. So unbiasedness means objectivity. So you always bring the aspect of the humanity. So for example, the tech-based interactions reduced human interactions. Reduction in human interactions. This result into the social isolation. Okay. And one more aspect with respect to the emerging technology is evil. Now this is your brownie point. Just let me know if anyone has read this aspect. Evil genies. Genie. Yeah, like the Alibaba. Yes. The gene from the lamp. So evil. Does anyone know about this? This is your keyword. So this is for example, the Microsoft's T platform promoted hate speech due to poor programming. If you have read the or if you have seen the robot movie of Rajnikant, it's just the matter of changing the chip. That is the evil genie. Okay, remember this aspect for the emerging technologies. Okay, that's it. So you have written 10 points in the first, 6 in the second. Now, Brian, still you have you have to write in the similar way that I have written. Okay? Then the way forward. What can be the way forward? Yes, one is the inclusive AI. Then, in elaboration, prioritizing equity and accessibility. Yes. And the second, inclusive AI based upon inclusivity, equity, and accessibility. And second, you write the point with respect to international collaboration. So for example, you have the OECD AI principles, Australia's AI ethics guidelines, etc. And then you conclude. Yes, South Korea also you can give the example AI in education. And in conclusion, you mention specifically with respect to the AI, adherence to एक ही aspect बचा है. We have given the different examples, we have given the case study, ठीक है, we have covered the dimensions, ठीक है. एक ही aspect हमारा बचा है, that is the organization, जो हमने mention नहीं किया. So mention adherence to UNESCO's this is their report, recommendations on ethics of AI and conducting so they have provided a 9-pillar strategy if you want to write, and conducting ethical impact assessment of AI projects. Is essential for equilibrium in technology and ethics. Okay. Now I am coming to the very important part. The 1.25 mark aspect is missing in this, and that is the diagram. Okay. In each and every ethics question, try to add one diagram if possible. Okay, zabardasti se nahi, but a simple framework for this main students, we had provided the framework for the diagrams. It's not the list of the diagram or compilation of the diagram, it is the framework of the diagram. For example, when you have the hierarchy, you draw the pyramid. When you have to maintain the equilibrium, you draw the circles. Okay, so here you have to maintain the equilibrium between technology and ethics, right? So you maintain. This is your technology, this is your ethics, and the intersection part is yes, secure and sustainable future. You can draw the conclusion in diagram. You can draw the diagram in conclusion also. Now this is the complete answer.